going on an adventure. So there's only one way to figure it all out. Unzip the archaeology. Make it naked. I'm calling him. He's coming.
A few years ago, a cow was born in Israel. Her name was Melody. She was special. She was pure red from nose to tail. And that got a lot of people excited. Rabbis from Jerusalem, Pentecostal pastors from Oklahoma, CNN reporters, everyone took an interest in Melody. Why? Because they all wondered, was Melody a sign of the apocalypse? That's because Melody was connected to here. Most scholars believe that the great Jewish temple once stood here on the Temple Mount. Jewish and Christian prophecies say that rebuilding the temple will signal the end of days. But there are a few problems with building the temple. You can't build it unless those who walk its grounds are purified. And the Torah, the 5 books of Moses, says that can only be done with the ashes of a pure red heifer ritually sacrificed. The last kosher red heifer appeared over 2,000 years ago. And so, there was a bit of excitement when Melody was born. Did Melody's birth mean the end was nigh? Well, we can't answer that question without answering a few others.
I want to show you something.
So we'll get back to Melody in a bit. But first, there's another problem with trying to build a temple here. Something's there already. Muslims believe that from here the Prophet Muhammad ascended to heaven to receive instruction on prayer. And this is the crux of the problem. The holiest site in Judaism is also the 3rd most important site in Islam. Make no mistake, people die for this piece of real estate. For thousands of years, Jews, Babylonians, Romans, Muslims, Crusaders, all shed blood, each wanting to control this piece of land. As they die today, how will these rival claims, Jew and Muslim, coexist? And how does an archaeologist work in such a complicated environment? Does this man hold the solution?
Yes, I spoke with some of the people and they say, it's too good. We want a war. We want fight. We want bombing. What are you? You are solving the problem it's so simple to be solved. It doesn't work. It's too good.
Now, a quick lesson, temple history. The Bible says King Solomon built a temple 3,000 years ago. For Jews, it was God's house on earth. The temple's legendary treasures included the Ark of the Covenant and the 10 Commandments. But those treasures disappeared when the Babylonians sacked Jerusalem. Within a century, the Israelites started rebuilding. By the time of Jesus, the temple was one of the world's great buildings. But it fell again when the Romans attacked in 70 AD. So why is there no archaeology to prove Solomon's temple ever existed? Well, this isn't an easy place to dig. This is Dan Bahat. He doesn't work on Islamic sites. The nearest he gets is digging round the edges. So he's taking me into a tunnel just outside the Temple Mount.
This is maybe one of the most exciting points in the Western Wall. We are touching now a stone which is the largest building stone ever found in this country. It weighs 600 metric tons, which is enormous. I believe inside here there is a vault, let's say an underground storage place or something of the like.
So wait a minute. So if you're telling me that on the other side of this are substructures to the holiest place on earth, why aren't you blasting through the wall and trying to be an Indiana Jones and find all sorts of treasures?
Few reasons. We are with very good relations with the Muslims here. I cannot go more to details, but we are in good relations.
By we you mean the archaeologist?
Me. So we are with very good relations with the Muslims. They know what we are doing, and with the pretext that we don't go in under the Temple Mount.
Behind these stones, there could be a 2,000-year-old vault. The prospect is tantalizing, but Bahat can't open it, because here, archaeology can be a matter of life and death. In 1996, this tunnel was opened to make a fire exit.
Right over there, the exit to this tunnel
the entire system.
Created a whole big riot.
Yes, the mosque.
They thought this tunnel was under their mosque.
Exactly so.
Everybody got really upset.
Everyone, of course, you can imagine. I will be upset if I see a Muslim digging under my synagogue.
The tunnel does not go under the dome, but distrust led to
15 Israeli soldiers were killed in those riots and over 70 Palestinians.
This is a bloodbath.
It was a real terrible
all over an opening to this tunnel.
Yes, that's Jerusalem.
Muslim and Jew both lay claim to this sacred piece of land. Both have died for it. But what if there was an archaeological solution to the conflict? This is Tuvia Sagiv, author of A Revolutionary Theory.
Wait a minute, I just realized something. You can be a big peacemaker if you write.
We can live together. The Arabs and the Jewish people, you will be in the left and the right, and we will be in the center.
You cannot achieve Middle East peace without deciding the fate of the Temple Mount. This man thinks he has a solution.
So this is the meaning of a solution. Maybe it can cause, if we will not find a solution, the Third World War.
Okay, so let's just review a second. We're looking right now, which is the Dome of the Rock, this gold dome, right?
Exactly.
The conventional wisdom is that was built over the Holy of Holies in the ancient Jewish temple.
This is the traditional way of thinking.
Right.
Sagiv challenges tradition. He's an architect, but he has a hobby, the Temple Mount. And he's reached a revolutionary conclusion about the location of Solomon's temple.
Maybe the conclusion is that maybe it's here, but not in the Dome of the Rock. And we have to ask ourselves, where is a rational place in which we can put it?
That's right. Sagiv says the temple didn't stand where the dome is. His theory is complex, but it boils down to three main pieces of evidence. 1, architectural footprint. 2, infrared photography. And 3, water flow.
We find that one of the problems in the temple was supply of water for the holy bath of the high priest, and also to clean the court from the blood.
From all the sacrifices.
Exactly, and a lot of animals were sacrificed, and there was a lot of blood in the court, and they have to clean it.
This takes us back to melody. The temple's most important function was sacrifice, and there was lots of it. So much so that the priests needed an aqueduct pumping water into the temple to wash away the blood. Archaeologists think they found the aqueduct. But if the temple stood where the dome is, here, and the aqueduct flowed from here, we have a problem. Sagiv calculates the aqueduct is 20 meters lower than the Dome of the Rock. Water doesn't flow uphill.
The conclusion, it means that we have to lower the level of the temple in order that this water will supply water to the court. And then it means that it can't be in the Dome of the Rock.
Because there's a rock there.
There is a rock there. Then it must be in another place. But anyhow, in this place, it's impossible.
Sagiv's theory runs against most archaeologists, rabbis, and historians. But what about Muslim sensibilities? Adnan Husseini runs the Islamic Trust overseeing the Dome of the Rock. I asked him about the future of the Mount.
This is a mosque for Muslims to pray. When we speak about a mosque for Muslims to pray, Muslims, they don't go to a church, to a synagogue to participate with any prayer, you know.
Yeah, but what about the history and the temple and all that?
But if you wanted to bring the history back, there is many things should be changed, really. And I think if everything will be changed back according to the history, it's nonsense. It's not logic, really. Peace can never be achieved by looking for the history, you know.
Ah, but history says there was a temple here. I'm not even talking about the Jewish one. I'm talking about another temple, a pagan one. And it's at the heart of Sagiv's plan. There is a tradition of building holy sites on top of each other. Conquistadors planted churches over Mayan temples. Hindus and Muslims battle over who was the chicken and who the egg. Even the Vatican sits atop the pagan temple of Cybele and Attic. So it would make sense for the Dome of the Rock to be built over the Jewish temple. This tradition leads us to Sagiv's next piece of evidence, architectural footprint.
Holy places have traditions, and I agree with you, and we know this archaeologically.
Exactly.
People don't just come and build a holy place.
Exactly.
Even if whatever religion they are, if they're building a church or a mosque or there's a synagogue, there's a tradition. Now, the fact is that you have two mosques. How is it possible that they ignored the holy place of the temple?
Exactly.
And they built two mosques exactly where the temple wasn't? How is that possible?
I will try to show you.
You have an answer for this?
Yes.
The Jewish temple fell. The Romans built their own pagan temple on the site. That temple is long gone, but the same architect built another temple in Lebanon.
This is an aerial photograph?
This is the area of Jupiter temple.
Oh, this looks like
The same builder, the same era, and even dedicated to the same god, Jupiter. So we can speculate. The Lebanon temple may be a model for the missing Roman temple on the Mount. And guess what happens when we compare the layout of the Jupiter temple and the Temple Mount?
I put together Al-Aqsa Mosque and the Dome of the Rock, Jupiter Temple in Baalbek, and look, it's the same thing. So maybe what we see here is the ruins of Jupiter Temple, which the Arabs decided to cover it with Muslim dress and make it to a mosque.
So just before I get as excited as you are, I just want to understand, you're saying when the Muslims built their holy places, they did build it on the ruins of holy places,
Exactly.
but it was not the Jewish temple.
It was the pagan project.
It was the pagan Roman project.
Exactly.
So where did the Jewish temple go? The Holy of Holies. Well, we get the answer straight from the horse's mouth. Historians say the Roman temple had a horse's statue in between the two main temple buildings.
And where the statue used to stand in the courtyard,
Exactly.
that's where the trees are, that's where the Jewish holy place was.
Exactly, and this was the sign. If you want to know where is the place of the Holy, ask where is the place of the horse. And to put the horse on the Holy of the Holy means I conquered the Jewish temple.
There's a debate in Israel. Is the temple simply a metaphor? Will God build a physical temple, or will it be built by man? I went to meet one man who sees it as his personal responsibility to clear the ground for the third Jewish temple.
Coming back to the Temple Mount is an historical justice. The Arab occupation of the Temple Mount of Jerusalem is finished.
This is Gershon Solomon 15 years ago, marching on the Temple Mount.
15 years, you haven't changed.
This is Gershon Solomon now. He leads the Temple Mount Faithful, a group dedicated to rebuilding the temple the Romans knocked over 2,000 years ago. I asked him how he could build the temple where the dome now stands.
Take the Dome of the Rock and the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and we shall do, the government will do it as a great favor for the Muslims, put them in a big envelope and mail them back to Mecca.
Mail them.
Mail them.
You don't mean literally.
Yeah. See, in Egypt, you know, the ancient temples
Were moved when they built the Aswan Dam.
tens, sometimes hundreds of kilometers from the original place. Why not here?
So you want to move those Muslim holy places, rebuild the temple, trigger the end of days, and we all live happily. We all live happily ever after.
Not only I want, God wants.
Solomon's marches usually number a couple dozen followers, but fervor outweighs numbers. In 1990, rumors spread among Palestinians that Gershon Solomon was marching to the Dome of the Rock. Riots erupted and 17 people died. The threat of violence, politics, and religion prevent us from digging in this holy ground. So, Sagiv took to the air for the next piece of evidence, infrared.
You had Israeli police
Yes,
take in a helicopter,
In a helicopter.
infrared shots.
exactly.
And-
And now I want to show you the pictures, and you yourself will decide: do we see something here, or it's nonsense?
Okay.
Maybe here you see the
Maybe
there-
Tuvia is imagining it all.
Exactly.
Because Tuvia says that it's under the trees.
Yes.
Infrared cameras read heat. Different objects reflect heat in different ways. This allows infrared cameras to reveal what the naked eye cannot see. So, if we look at a photo from early in the morning when things are cool,
You can see that the floor is clear and white. Floor
Right, no
itself,
shadows.
No shadows.
but look what happens at night, after the land has been heated all day by the Jerusalem sun.
And look what happens in the middle of the night.
Oh
Here
my,
you,
oh my God, that's amazing.
you see here the trees, and in between them you have straight lines. And the width of the lines here
You're
is
talking about the in-between.
in between you see lines, you see straight lines. And this is 10 meters, 10 meters, and 10 meters. The width of the temple walls was 20 cubic, which means about 10 meters.
Each wall was 10 meters wide.
Exactly. And I say maybe, I'm not sure. What we see here is the reflection of the walls of the temple.
Okay, wait. So here we got. You see, that's the Al-Aqsa Mosque, and that's the Dome of the Rock. And you're saying, okay, it's got to be there somewhere. It can't be that high.
Exactly.
The only place it might be is under
the trees.
under the trees.
Exactly. And more than that,
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If it's under the trees,
Yes.
that means that the Western Wall actually is.
Unbelievable what we are talking now. It means that I came to the conclusion that the temple is here, and what comes out that the Jewish people during the last 700 years are coming exactly to this place, which is vis-a-vis the Holy of the Holy, according to my theory.
They're actually the only thing separating them from the temple
Is the wall.
Is the wall.
We were heading off when suddenly I realized Sagiv's plan for peace would actually wreak havoc. I was saying goodbye to Sagiv when I realized something shocking.
I just realized something. According to your theory, if you're right, and you showed me that everything can be peaceful because the Muslims can have the Dome of the Rock. Yeah, this beautiful design where everybody's happy. The Jews have the temple, the Muslims have the dome, the Christians can go to either side wherever they please. Everything is nice and beautiful, except you've actually broken down the holiest place in Judaism, the Western Wall, to make room to go to where you say the temple is.
Yes, because in the moment my theory will be proved, you will understand, it means that there will be no objection to break this paganic wall.
Now this pagan wall, when you say, let's smash it, let's take a big
Yes.
ball and smash it down, some people might have a problem with that.
Why do we pray here?
because that's the connection with the temple.
All right, and then move, smash the wall because it's not important.
Smash the wall because it's not important.
Because
what's important is the space behind it.
Exactly.
Okay, controversial, yes, let's go find it.
Has Sagiv found the path to peace? Gershon Solomon and Adnan Husseini don't agree on much, but they do agree on three things. One, it's the land under the Dome of the Rock that is sacred. Two, they cannot share it. And three, Tuvia Sagiv.
Let me tell you first that he's a nice guy. But I am so sorry to disappoint you. It don't make sense. I have not another word, nonsense. And the fact that in the midst of the Temple Mount, it exists the Dome of the Rock, a Muslim building, and a mosque, it scared people. How can we remove it? We shall make, as you said, a nuclear war. What else?
But I don't think he was motivated. You're saying he was motivated by fear. Why don't I find a space where there's no Muslim?
Yeah, on the Temple Mount can exist only one thing, I think, one building, the house of God, the temple. This is the word of God.
And how does Tuvia's plan, the Muslims up top and the Jews below, look to the Muslims?
Can never work. This is, these ideas, it's not ideas which respect the place.
Oh, I mean underneath.
Yeah. If you play underneath a place, you are not respecting the place. This place is built on rock. If you will play underneath, it means you will demolish it. Let's deal with things. It's a very important place. It's a very beautiful place. Enjoy it as a beautiful place. And let us enjoy our religion in this place. Let's not mix things. Mixing things in such sensitive places is dangerous.
Finally, a consensus. Everyone agrees no to Tuvia Sagiv's plan. Now, back to Melody. The pure red heifer ushering in the end of days. The Torah says the pure red heifer must be 3 years old at the time of the sacrifice. Her ashes used to purify those who work in the temple. So what became of Melody? Things were going according to plan. Rabbis were keeping a watchful eye. A year went by. Then, at the age of 18 months, Melody sprouted a tuft of white hair on her tail. The end of days was put on hold.
Guys, I'm a vegetarian. I'm a friend.